Hey, ghouls and goblins. So welcome to another week of the DMV Download Now October edition. This is the show where, two transplants try to tell you what's going around the DMV that you can check out while staying on a budget. I am one of your hosts. I am Michaela Jennings. Normally, I'm one of your evening, weekday, weekend producers, but you got me here today to tell you about some spooky and cool things. And I'm joined here with my co-host.
Hey guys, I'm Katie. I am a digital producer here, so I'm normally working on the website or articles. And we are so excited that it is finally spooky season.
It is
Fall
finally
is in full
October.
swing. We have some spooky events for you guys that we are so excited to share. So our first thing that we did want to bring up, it is still DC Theater Week. So it started on September 26th, but it will actually be going through October 13th. So there's discounts for local performances, different shows you can check out. If you just Google DC Theater Week, it'll show all the specific shows that are going on. It's different discounts for each performance, but support local creators. People who love to be express themselves, and I don't know. I feel like it'd be so fun to see like a play or a musical or
I
something.
mean, I love local theater anyway. There's just something you did theater, and I was kind of a little bit involved in theater, and it's just something really cool and inspiring to see how these thespians are like working on a smaller stage and trying to convey like these grand stories and how they do it every time. I'm always fascinated with the acting, but then also the stage production, the people people who are behind the scenes, building the sets, getting the lights together and stuff to really convey a story. And I mean, this is just a great way to get out there and get involved in your art community.
Yes.
Because I know theater usually is kind of pricey, and if you just don't grow up around it, it's something that you never really get involved in. So I think having like a theater week is like a real easy way to get more people involved, to get more people to know about it. And hey, maybe if you have someone in your family or in your friend group who's pretty talented, this is a great way to be like, maybe this is, something that you can do, an avenue where you can explore your art. But yeah, no, I'm glad that we mentioned that. But this weekend, specifically this Saturday, I know all of our October people are excited for. It is finally Oktoberfest at the Wharf. Okay, and it's going to be from 2 to 7 p.m. And as always, this event, y'all, free admission. So basically, you get to, celebrate October, the traditional German stuff. There's, of course, going to be Oktoberfest beer and ice cream and a DJ. But this is my favorite thing that they're having, Katie, and I'm sure you are also excited about this. From 2 to 5 p.m., y'all, they are going to have the 13th annual Wiener 500 Dash Hound Dash.
I love that.
Hosted by Tommy McFly. So you can watch the speediest dash hounds in D.C. race for fame and fortune for the district peer racetrack. And this helps benefit the rural dog rescue. And of course, it's going to be free to watch. But I mean, who doesn't want to see the dash house runs? Those little legs.
Literally, they're so close to the ground. And all those dogs are taking it serious.
They're going to be so serious because they know at the end they're going to get their little pup cup.
Yes.
Maybe a little pumpkin spice on the... Can dogs have pumpkin spice?
I feel like dogs can have
I
pumpkin.
think dogs can have pumpkin spice.
This is not medical advice.
This is not
veterinary advice.
Don't quote me on it, but they're going to enjoy themselves. And I mean, after you get to watch that, there's going to be polka on the pier. So, you can learn the traditional German dance and show off your moves to the DJ. And you're encouraged to wear your lederhosen and Oktoberfest gear. And apparently, if you are the best polka dancer, you do get a reward. So not only do you get to watch the dash hounds, those little legs, speed up and go. At the end, if you want to, show off your moves and dance and learn something new, you can and get a prize. And then, as always, free food. And the Wharf is beautiful this time of year, from what I've gathered. and the weather is super nice. It's like,
Yes.
it's now finally fall. The humidity has died down, finally.
So now you can boogie dance to
Finally.
your heart content.
Exactly.
Without heart's content.
Without
Without
sweating
sweating
bullets.
as much. And also, if you are not the dancing type, or if you get a little overstimulated, there is also going to be a Jumbotron screen that will be playing while, partying. You can just, look at all the cool visuals, celebrate the fall spirit, just seems like a good vibe.
I think this is like such a good event to kick off the month. I don't know. Everybody, is excited for doing, we know we're excited to do this, and I'm sure other people are too. All these like autumn and October festivals, and it's like, yep, here you go, Oktoberfest, and you get to have a good time and watch those little wiener dogs, race to their hearts.
Watch those little legs go.
I'm the most excited about them, honestly.
No, I am so excited to see the pictures after.
Oh,
just see the winners. Like,
yes. I hope someone films it in slow motion and they have that like dramatic music, the da 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 da,
yeah.
as they're like crossing the finish line.
Oh, so sweet.
But anyway, if that's not your vibe, there are other cool fall, autumn events for you to do.
So another one that we wanted to highlight is Cox Farms, which is located on Braddock Road in Centerville, Virginia. The festival is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's filled with their fall festival has a bunch of family-friendly entertainment and attractions, including slides, swings, animals, hay rides, all the typical fall, activities. And while they do sell apples and pumpkins, they do not have orchards or fields where you can actually go and pick your own. So they will have them available. You just aren't going out into a field to find your own. Which, if you have lugged a giant pumpkin in your life, you may appreciate that
I was about
more.
to say, that can get kind of messy and it can get really heavy. And if you're out with your kids and if they're like me and they're clumsy, it's not a good time.
It may be for the best to
yeah.
just purchase one. But there is also a spookier element to Cox Farms. There is Fields of Fear, which is open Friday and Saturday nights. And it started on September 26th, so it's ongoing through November 8th, plus a bonus night on Sunday, October 12th. You can only buy your tickets online, and it's open from 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m., with last entry being at 10 p.m. Now, I don't know how you feel, Michaela, about haunted houses, haunted corn mazes, but for me, you
don't like them?
My eyes are closed. My head is in the back of the person in front of me. I'm not seeing anything, but I'm screaming.
No, I don't know if I've said this on here before. I'm sure I've told you. I love a haunted maze. I love a haunted house. Usually when I go there, I'm really sensitive to like sounds and noise for some reason. So like I'll be like, I can like always tell when like somebody's like coming up around me. But whenever I go, I always make sure I'm around someone who is a scaredy cat, because I am already not scared and I'm kind of laughing, but there is nothing funnier than seeing someone get scared beyond belief, get scared out of their britches, start running around.
Yeah.
Because someone's just like, boo, popped out, from behind a bush or something.
Yeah.
I took my cousin to like a haunted maze thing, and she's been there before, and this was my first time going, so I guess she kind of took me, and so she was like, oh, it's cool, it's not gonna be too bad, and I was like, oh, okay. And then as soon as we get on the trail, like they started like jumping at her and she starts sprinting. Mind you, I've never seen this girl run before ever, and all the years I've known her, so her whole life, because I'm older than her, and I've never seen her book it. And I remember I was looking at the scare actor and he was just like, where'd she go? And I was like, I don't know.
So now both of y'all are chasing after her.
Pretty much.
To find her.
We waited. We were just like, I guess we'll just wait here. And she eventually came back and she's like, my bad. So, I have fun at those.
I respect that.
I really am entertained. And I love, again, theater background, I guess. I love the costuming and what they do and how they like integrate the forest and the trails, which, segue to the Marks Off Haunted Forest. So I am excited about this. I have been wanting to go to like a haunted trail or a haunted like maze this season. I don't know if I'm going to go alone or if I'm going to go with anybody. It seems like a lot of people are scared and too scared to want to be scared. You know what I mean? But apparently it starts this Friday, October 3rd. And it lasts till November 1st. So, there's a couple weekends you can stop by. And it's going to take place in Martinsburg Road in Dickerson, Maryland. And so there's two haunts, right? So there's the classic trail, which is over a mile long. And it's Terror in the Woods. So they have some of the scenes that they're going to have in there is like they have this really big castle. Which, fun fact, there are arched doors that appear like in the castle. Apparently, they were the same arches that appeared for Black Sabbath on their Heaven and Hell tour.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day. I know.
That's crazy.
I was like,
how did that end up in Maryland?
Like, I don't know, but I kind of want to go to just ask them that. Not even to get scared, just to ask.
Yeah.
My favorite, there's going to be some tall gargoyles in the graveyard scene. And of course, you can't have a haunted trail without a haunted school bus. Because, I mean, school can be scary.
Yeah.
So
they have some back in Roanoke. There's like another haunted house. And they whip that school bus around to get to drive to the actual haunted house. You're getting in this bus, you're just fighting for your life, already scared, and you're not even there yet.
Gosh. And so there's also this place there called The Town. So the price includes a 10-minute wagon ride where you'll get up and close with the zombies who inhabit Onslaught Mills, which I guess is another little tour thing that you can do. And then there's apparently a Markov's Midway, and that's basically kind of like a food court area where you can just mingle with people, take a breath from all the scares. Maybe the actors come up to you, but they're not behind a bush or something. They're just out in the open screaming in your face. So it all opens at 6:30 p.m. when you buy the tickets for the weekend. I will admit this is kind of a pricier event for y'all to do. The trail ranges from $40 to $50 and the town can range from $30 to $40. The combo price, if you want to experience the trail and the town, is $65 to $80. But parking is free. I will have to say that the trail is not recommended for kids under 12 years old, but apparently they do have what's called lights on night. And that's basically where you can go without the actors jumping at you or get scared. So you can really just go during the day and enjoy the scenery and the sets that they build and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Pretty
I
cool.
want to check it out.
I feel like there's so much effort that goes into building these sets that
absolutely.
half of it you probably can't even see when it's dark or when you're running from the scare actors. So I feel like even if you aren't a scaredy cat like me, it's still, there's still some value to being able to see everything with the lights on. You're oh, that's actually really intricate.
When I worked, fun fact about me, I used to work at a Spirit Halloween. And so after Spirit Halloween, the season ends, all the sets and stuff are discounted. And I saw so many people would come in and ask to purchase the displays that we had. So not even the animatronics itself, but I think we had one that was a brick haunted castle or one that was covered in cobwebs and stuff. And so people would purchase that and be oh, I'm putting it in my yard, or I am also hosting a scary trail for next Halloween. And so we're trying to add to our set. So that was cool to learn a little bit behind the scenes of
I should not tell my mom that because when department stores close, she will go and buy the mannequins to dress up as Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason. Literally, we have in our garage so many animatronic mannequins. It's scary. I go out there to get a soda and I'm scared.
It's just I see someone looking behind me in that corner, and it's old Michael Myers. Don't worry,
standing there just chilling.
Trying to get his scare on. But yeah, no, I think this is really fun. And like I said, there is that lights on night. So if you're if you're not interested in being scared or jump at, which I understand, I have a good laugh out of it, but not everybody can. So get out there, go outside, get spooked, get a little haunted. It'll be fun.
If you are, looking for something to do, but you're not feeling super fall, you're one of those people that likes to wait till later in the month. But you do have, a little desire to learn something new, Michaela, I know you checked out a really cool museum that is actually it's the oldest museum of modern and contemporary Latin American and Caribbean art in the United States, which is actually so crazy how that's so nearby.
Yeah, I checked out the Art Museum of the Americas. So, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, I wanted to go check it out and see some beautiful artwork. It is really gorgeous, a really small museum. So, it's not going to take you a long time at all to get through it. But the work that they have displayed there is incredible. So, they have just. Let me think about. So I took some pictures. So let me grab my notes from my phone. I wrote like all the the artwork that I liked down, some of the stuff they had. I know in the bottom floor it's mostly like kind of indigenous to obviously to the Americas. So a lot of Canadian artists were on the bottom floor. Then on the top floor, as you saw in the clip, it was like a lot of Peruvian artwork and stuff. Yeah, I'm looking through some of the pictures now. Let me see if I can find it. So one of my favorite illustrations there was a flesh-eating monster art that's on the bottom floor, and it has like these wolves and this like eagle like consuming this woman. It's really gorgeous. And then I have the live flower that was painted in it was an etching that was made in 1973. And then yeah, so it's just a beautiful museum with a lot of mixed artwork and stuff. And like I said, there is a Peruvian exhibit up at the top where you can see a lot of photography, a lot of paintings and stuff from artists from Peru. And it's just really cool to check out. It is free admission. There are guided tours available to groups appointed only Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I will admit that it may not be the most accessible to people. When I went, I saw like a toddler there, and then I saw like people who were older, like in their 70s and stuff. I only say it's not as accessible because I didn't see any wheelchairs. I didn't see any elevators there. So people who use wheelchairs and stuff might have a harder time like going up the steps to see the Peruvian exhibit. But yeah, it's really, really quick. It's really, really cute.
It's over 2,000 works representing artistic trends that have developed in Latin America, including new figuration, geometric and lyrical abstraction, conceptual art, optical and kinetic art.
Yeah, no, it was incredible just walking around and seeing everything. But it's on Northwest. It's really close to the Washington Monument. So if you're outside checking other, staple DC finds, I think you should stop by this one and maybe learn something new. And like I said, for Hispanic Heritage Month. And I know one of our reporters, Daniel Hamburg, also visited the museum and talked to, I think, one of the artists who worked for the Peruvian exhibition. So if you want to hear more about that, you should check it out on our website.
PTNewsNow.com.
Yes.
Plug.
Get that plug in.
Hey.
But it is spooky season, and we are two spooky ooky girls, and it's time now for us to talk about some of our fave fall and spooky movie recommendations. So every week, we try to bring on some entertainment aspect for people who, don't want to go outside but still want to maybe be encouraged to do something, have something in the background. And for this month, we thought it would be a good idea to maybe talk about some of our favorite fall and spooky movies that you can check out that are available on streaming. And I know the two movies we're about to recommend to you today are available on Tubi, which is a stream account you don't need to have a real account for, you don't have to pay for it. So all the movies are free with ads. And Katie, I know your choice of the week is Corpse Bride.
Yes.
Tim Burton's baby.
I love the aesthetic of Tim Burton. Just something about that gloomy, romantic, I don't know, vibe. It's just, it's a classic.
It's a classic.
I grew up watching this movie. Basically, if you've been living under a rock, this movie came out in 2005. It stars Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, Danny Elfman, Emily Watson. Basically, Victor and Victoria's families. They have arranged their marriage, though they like each other. Victor's nervous about the ceremony. And while he's in the forest practicing his lines for his wedding, a tree branch becomes a hand that drags him to the land of the dead. And that hand belongs to Emily, who was murdered before eloping with her love. And she wants to marry Victor. And Victor must get back above ground before Victoria marries the villainous Barkis Bittern.
I adore this movie.
Me too. Just something about, I think this is a stop motion movie, right?
It is a stop motion movie.
Like, that's crazy.
The Corpse Bride is based on, if I remember correctly, it's like an old Jewish like folk tale or something like that. This movie, oh my goodness. I remember it came out in 2005. Like it was always just like on like Freeform, ABC Families and stuff like that for the reruns, and I would just always watch it. I am obsessed with Emily's look. Low key, I'm thinking about dressing up as her for Halloween this year. If I can find the wedding dress, I'm going to do it.
The iconic.
She's just like, how can you not love her? I know she's the other woman, but still.
But like, it's just like something about her aesthetic. Like it's every time you see her, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like it's become such a classic in like our culture now, like the Corpse Bride look. Like, the fact that this is all stop motion, I cannot get over the fact that they were literally moving it piece by piece by piece.
I know. When you watch like the behind the scenes of this movie and how it was made, it's insane. Yeah. But I love the like musical aspect of it too. Danny Elfman is just incredible, the way he composes and everything. Like, what's the song, like Bones of the Day? What a jazzy like bit. Like who doesn't love that? Or like the song that they like duet together. Yeah, it's just like, oh my goodness, I love it so much. And you're right, it is like kind of a classic staple. Not to plug Spirit Halloween again, but I am.
Not sponsored.
It's not sponsored at all. Yeah, when I was there was so much like merch that they had that was like Corpse Bride theme, and so many people would come in wanting like not even the Corpse Bride costumes, but like the decorations that they can put in their house, because they're like, oh, well, I love the like book, or I love the like skeleton hand with like the flowers and stuff. And so they would tell me that they're just like decorating their living room with this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my God, who knew this was like such a cultural impact on people? But it is, and it's a beautiful movie. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It is very kid friendly. I'm pretty sure it's rated PG.
Yeah.
It's rated PG. There might be some scenes that, you know, if you have a really, really young kid who's like 3 years old, it might be a little scary for them. But a very beautiful movie. And, you know, this came out 20 years ago. So if you just want a nice little, I know, if you just want a nice little nostalgia kick, you know, to start off your October spooky season, I think this is a winner. So
I know our next movie that we have up is one of your favorites.
Absolutely. I have the best memory of this movie, Monster House. This is like a Halloween movie that I think is great, and it doesn't get talked about enough. I remember my mom, you gotta understand, I'm the only girl. I grew up with all my cousins and my brother and stuff. And she like took us out of school. We went down the street to the Dollar Movie Theater. We got our popcorn. We got our slushies, and we were locked in. Yes. This was like the scariest movie to us at the time, too. So this movie stars Mitchell Musso, Spencer Locke, Sam Lerner, Steve Buscemi. And so basically what it's about is no adults are believing these 3 kids who say that a home across the street from them has a living creature inside. That means them harm. With Halloween approaching, the trio must find a way to destroy the house before innocent trick-or-treaters meet a ghastly end. And this movie, oh my gosh, I just remember seeing it and being like dumbfounded. I was like, this is incredible. Like I was like maybe 5 or I think I was 5 when this movie came out, and just being in the theater, like this is super spooky and I'm super into it. And like the plot twist towards the end, I mean, this movie is also like 19 years old, so I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody. But if I am, here's a spoiler warning. Like when the house is revealed to be like the old man's wife, and you get their background, and how they fell in love and how she was abused and how he always protected her and stuff. So it turns this like very like scary kind of suspenseful movie into like a tragedy and then to like a triumphant movie. It's just, it's one of my favorite Halloween classics. And it's funny because me and my mom were just talking about how much we love this movie and how we never see it on streaming. And then all of a sudden, as we were going through like, oh, what spooky movies are we going to talk about? I see it on Tubi, and I'm like,
shout out Tubi.
Shout out Tubi. They have all the good movies. Also not sponsored.
Okay, I don't know if Tubi originals are the best movies, but you can find some interesting stuff.
No. I love a Tubi original. The acting, it's always. I've actually, side note, I'm so sorry, y'all. We are sidetracking, but I signed up for a Facebook group called Tubi Auditions. So every now and again, I'll get like an audition that I should try out for, and it'll tell me the plot of a Tubi movie. And it is the funniest thing on earth. Like, if you can, see if you can get on that Facebook page. It is the best thing. And then you see other people's auditions. It's good. It's good. Tubi's good.
You may be a star. You may be a star on Tubi.
I may be a star on Tubi. Like, we'll see what happens. But no, I think Monster House is a spookier movie than The Corpse Bride. So your kids, if you're watching with young children, might be a little bit more scared of this movie than they would be of Corpse Bride. It's not as like pretty as Corpse Bride is, and there's not like a big musical element. Like I said, at the time, like it was like a true scary movie when I was a kid, but it was one that I had a lot of fun with. So I think y'all should check it out. If you haven't seen it before, tune in. And if you just want that nostalgia kick, it's on Tubi. So,
well, thank you so much for joining us today. We love being in the studio, and we are so excited to find some more spooky and fall-themed activities for you guys. So make sure to tune in next week to see what we find. Bye.